I sat down in person with games media personality Colin Moriarty to talk about my lifelong doubting faith and the reasons I still hang on to it. Despite being an atheist for many years, Colin said about the interview, out of all the Christian-themed episodes we've done so far, I must readily admit, this one personally made me think about and question my own beliefs the most. You can listen to that conversation right now by following the link below. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, you can get some cool and fun rewards for helping me help kids. Stick around after the video for more information. Alright, we're good. Okay, I'm glad the stream's holding up okay. It's always a roll of the dice these days. Let's see here. Yeah, any guesses, you guys, on how much that PS5 is going to cost? I'm really hoping that it's not... Oh, I could kill her. Let's go get her. I am really hoping that it is not $600. What I've been hearing from various commentators is that they wouldn't dare do $600 because of the infamous E3 where Xbox 360 came in at $399, I think, and they said $599 US, and then made a joke about people getting a second job in order to help pay for it. You know, the commentators I've been listening to have almost unanimously been saying they are not going to want to call back in any way to remind people at all about that E3 and that moment. So the highest they're thinking they would go would be $549, and much more likely $499. So, which I think I could handle. I've been saving slowly but surely for the last, I think, 3 years for a console, and I think I've got about $300 set aside. So I'm getting there. I don't know that I would buy one at launch. I almost never... I don't think I've ever bought hardware at launch. Have I cleared this area? Oh yeah, I've totally been here. Have you guys respawned? Not yet. Okay, cool. I think my PS4 might be... I'm not sure if it's a launch PS4 or not. I think I got it about... at least 6 months after the launch of the console. I don't think I got it that soon. I bought it for Dragon Age Inquisition. Which ended up being not a great RPG for me. But my gaming tastes and the types of games I enjoy have also diversified significantly since I bought my PS4. So there's a higher likelihood that there will be a game I will want to play on PS5 closer to launch this time around. Let's get some wolf skin. Nummy nummy. I guess I don't get to eat these things, but whatever. I'm gonna imagine that I do. Barbells and Joystick says $499.99. I'm going to have to wait to get it anyway. I do plan on sticking with Sony. I think I will too, but dang, let me tell you. I mean, I'll talk about this in my wishes/predictions video in a few weeks for E3. But I am like legit excited for Microsoft. And for the first time I'm having thoughts of not that I would get an Xbox, whatever the next one is, instead of a PS5, but that I'm like, you know what? Maybe be a little bit more intentional about your savings, because you might, at some point, like 1 or 2 years after you get your PS5, want to also get an Xbox 2 or whatever the crap. And a significant reason for that is that they bought Obsidian Entertainment. Oh my gosh! They bought Obsidian! And these guys, you know, I was just playing Pillars of Eternity. If we get more Pillars games, they are probably going to be exclusive to PC and the Xbox platform. Now, there are some thoughts out there. I think they're a little bit fringy, but some thoughts that, like, hey, Microsoft has been so much talking about just playing your games on whatever platform, blah, blah, blah. Well, does that include Sony's platforms? I mean, is there a world in which Microsoft launches a new console but really doesn't make any of their games exclusive to their console? That would seem really weird to me. Why would they go and buy all these studios? That doesn't make sense. So I think they're gonna have these games be exclusive. It also would mean probably that the sequel to The Outer Worlds, which I'm looking forward to, we don't have a release date for it yet, but it's coming out this year. A sequel to that would very likely be exclusive to Xbox too, you know? So, oh man, I don't know. Losing access to Obsidian games, apart from playing them on a PC, which I don't want to do, that might be something that eventually leads me to Xbox. Especially if they continue with their digital initiative. They just released, I think, a version of their Xbox One that's digital only. They at least announced it. I think it's been released, maybe. I'm not sure. That doesn't have a disk drive, and it's cheaper. And if they keep going with that, I can see maybe 2 or 3 years after getting a PS5, there being an all-digital version of an Xbox 2 that I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll get that for my exclusives, just for my Xbox exclusives, you know. Rugged Warrior says, I want to see if PS5 will allow us to play digital PS4 games. They have confirmed backwards compatibility for PS5, and I assume that would at least mean digital games, if not also discs. All right, see you later, Francisco. Thanks so much for coming. Oh, Rugged Warrior says, Cuphead, one of the best exclusive Xbox had, is now on the Switch. That's true. That's a very good point. It is an indie game. I don't know that they invested a ton of their own money in that. But that is a good point. That is a good point. It's hard to say. See, it's this kind of stuff that makes me interested in what they're going to do. And of course, by the time the replay of this goes up, we will know what their plans are and what they did. Oops. Dive! But I can't imagine they will have screwed things up at E3 enough to make me uninterested in watching them anymore. They are the ones to watch, man. Boy, this is going to be a lot of work to get this area cleared. I need to start at the outskirts on this side, maybe. All right. I got to drink 2 of these a day on my regimen. Especially if I'm going to have a Pepsi that day. I mean, I can't have my Pepsi until I've had 2 of those. Not having Pepsi tonight. I got some watered-down grape juice for myself to enjoy. But I wanted to get to the water first. Got to be a good boy. Oh, there's a dude right there. And, oh, man. Oh, that was so cool. Wasn't sure if that would work. I don't think I've ever done that before. He's dead, right? Okay. Barbells and Joystick says, only Xbox exclusive I'm interested in is Gears of War 5. I've got a buddy that I've considered playing the Gears of War games with. Just because I've discovered that I can, in fact, enjoy shooters. If they're the right kind of shooter, if they're not too difficult, and... But I haven't gotten around to trying those 360 Gears of War games. It's still kind of on my bucket list, but... Oh, hi. I heard that you can get some armor in this game that's colored, or that you can color it, to basically look like Wonder Woman, but I don't know how to do that yet. I must not be far enough in the game. That'd be cool, though. Alright, let's roll again. Boom! Hey, Barbells and Joysticks. You still around? Looks like it. This is one of yours. From a while back, I'm sure. Does your faith affect how you play games? Absolutely. I mean, it affects... because I'm always curious about... I would say the way that... I mean, it affects the way I play games in the way you might expect, you know, like in terms of what content I might avoid, or like, you know, kind of cringe from, you know, if it's got like nudity in it and stuff like that. If it's not easily skippable, then I'm kind of like, I don't think this is going to be good for me, you know. But certainly in other ways too, I really like to, as with movies, I think that video games are a really good indicator of the zeitgeist, you know, just the popular way of thinking among creatives, which influences the popular way of thinking of consumers. And like I was just reading, oh gosh, I didn't put this in, I guess it wasn't that big of a deal, but I did an Essential Issues for the podcast this week. The video version won't be up for a few weeks because I need time to edit that, but there was a moment at the end of the book where there's kind of a plot with where one of the characters is kind of a bigot. He's kind of a racist toward another alien character. Did this guy spot me? That was crazy. Did you see one of my bodies I left behind? Maybe. Anyway, and in the final page of the 4-part miniseries is about an exchange between Highfather and Orion, Highfather of the New Gods and Orion of the New Gods. And Orion was the one that was being like kind of a racist or a bigot toward another character. And Orion asks him a question like, "What were you hoping to accomplish? You know, what do you want from me?" You know, something like that. And Highfather said, "Tolerance." You know, and I just thought that's interesting. It was published in '89, and tolerance is like a huge word now, but way back then, in '89, it was this creative type who was talking about things, you know, and you can see the influence of the left, you know, in things as well, both philosophically and politically, you know, and you could trace it back to art from decades ago. And now we see how it's, you know, grown and made its way into the rest of culture and influenced culture, and, you know, so I like to play games, especially games that give me some choice. I like to explore choices, not necessarily that will fit a character I have in mind. In fact, usually I choose an evil character specifically so I can do whatever I want, because evil characters don't have to be evil all the time. They can be good in order to get what they want out of a situation, you know. So really, you can, as an evil character, you can make the good choice whenever you want, and you can make the bad choice whenever you want, you know. So that's usually why I pick, you know, if I'm going to try and have a character in mind, they're usually evil, just so I can be flexible, you know. And then I very often like to choose the dialogue paths or the quest paths or whatever that I think will give me an indication of philosophically where the writers are at, where they're coming from, and that will reveal something about their worldview, you know. So, and I find that more interesting most times, because stories in games really don't interest me. And so I'm really doing a very meta-game type thing. Like I said, I do choose an evil character, you know, in my mind so that I can kind of have a little bit of a story and kind of, you know, have a little narrative going on in my head, but that's not what I play games for. I really play them, apart from the mechanics that I enjoy, that's the, you know, it's the main thing I'm in them for. But as far as how my faith affects how I play games, it would be in how I make choices and what kinds of things I explore in a game, for sure. So thanks for that question. Let's see here. Rugged Warrior says, it's funny how both Sony and Microsoft has an exclusive with the initials GOW. That is interesting, isn't it? Barbells and Joystick says, me too, I won't play GTA. I am also very careful about nudity in games. Same thing goes for TV. I want to watch Game of Thrones, but haven't. Might start Game of Thrones and give my wife the remote. Yeah, I think that's a good tactic, you know, if you want to try something like that. My wife and I watched the pilot many moons ago, like years ago. We watched the premiere for Game of Thrones, and you know, we just weren't interested enough in the story to have her kind of be my eyes and help me through, and she's also kind of like, I don't want to look at this lady's boobs, you know. So you know, if it was going to be about that a lot, which it is, my wife's not going to have the patience to sit through that, you know. I mean, if you think about it, it'd be like, you know, I really don't want to look at some guy's naked crotch, you know, for prolonged periods of time. Like, I was hungry a few minutes ago, but, you know, so, anyway. But if it, you know, if you've got the right circumstances and the right temperaments, then I can see that being a situation that would work for you. Another option is you'd have to do it all streaming through VidAngel, but VidAngel is a service that allows you to rent or purchase via, you know, streaming service, you know, digitally, movies and TV shows, and then you can adjust settings so that it cuts out the nudity or whatever content you don't want to see. Problem is with Game of Thrones, and maybe VidAngel's updated their settings, but from what I understand, in Game of Thrones there is like exposition going on. Like they came up with the term, you know, sexposition. Like while there's sex going on, exposition is happening, you know. And if it's verbal exposition, then I suppose VidAngel, if they can figure out a way, could make the screen go black so you could still hear people talking. But if it's visual storytelling, you know, like if they're having sex and then someone is secretly planting something under the pillow and stuff, so it's visual storytelling exposition in the middle of the other stuff, then I don't know how VidAngel even would be able to help with that. So that's when you'd need someone who would be completely unaffected, that could give you the hearing impaired commentary, you know. Oh, you know what? That could be a way to do it too. If there's well, I don't know. Only some movies and shows, I suppose, have like a guy that, you know, says the moon is shining and Tony Stark looks around behind him or whatever. I don't know if you've ever seen those, and we run into those tracks when we're looking for subtitles or whatever sometimes. Be like, what is this? I've heard that too, Rugged Warrior, who observes that I heard even non-Christians complain about some of the nudity in Game of Thrones, feeling being there just to be there. Yeah, one of the non-Christian gaming personalities that I enjoy the most, Colin Moriarty, has been in that camp and just been like, this is just like excessive, you know, why are we doing this, you know? And what my hope is that eventually there will be non-Christians that are on that are part of the movement for for basically women's rights and respect of women, you know. There's a movement right now, a very pro women movement. I think we can... Oh, no, I don't want to reference that. But I've been seeing it more in movies lately. And I know some of you have too. And I think if they can just make the connection between, hey, yeah, we want to honor and respect women, and making them sexual objects is the opposite of that. Unfortunately, there is a contingent of women, even actresses, who think of that as like female empowerment. And I think they are deluding themselves. I mean, they are deluding themselves. They have bought into a lie. And they might feel powerful, but they are still being looked at as nothing more than an object. The empowerment they feel, excuse me, the empowerment they feel is not matched by respect in the men that are looking at them without their clothes on. And so I wish that crowd would understand, as some have. There have been some, I can't remember the name, you know, like what you would say. It's not women's rights, it's like the, feminists. Yeah, feminists. There are like some feminist publications that have gotten, you know, have like been like, aha, okay, this is not good. Nudity, female nudity in movies is not something we should be seeing, you know. So there's definitely a contingent in the feminist movement that recognize that. And I think as Christians, as much as we may disagree with some other positions among some of these feminist movements, and where we can find agreement, I think we should unite in whatever way we can and say, yes, I agree. How can we work together? You know? There's a lot of, you know, with the whole term social justice warrior, we are not living in a time where morality is completely absent, you know? As much as things have degraded significantly, there are certain things that we as Christians can agree with that the non-believing, maybe, you know, hard left-leaning crowd are also passionate about, you know. And so I'm encouraged by that. I'm encouraged that although it's inconsistent, there is a strong belief among sectors of non-believers, strong belief in absolute morality. It's just selective, but I think where we can, man, if we can have some unity with those folks and work with those folks, could bring about some really good things. Alright, let's see here. Did this guy see me? I don't think he saw me, so I think I can get him. Okay, there's my target. Oh, is she gonna turn around? Please don't turn around. Just keep looking out at the ocean. Think of your home. There we go. Oh, I guess I gotta loot that body or something. Thanks for not sinking. Oh, confirm kill. There we go. Climb, girl. Can you not climb? There we go. Okay. Kill captain. Oh, the captain's up there. Okay. Boy, this is a big area. That's the song my son's playing in the next room. Oh, gotta open up my little flap here. Oh, these guys are fighting each other or something. Are you fighting like a... Is there a boar or something up there? Oh, I don't want to fight them both at once. I'll just chill out in here for a little bit till they mosey on by. Oh, there's 3 of them. Let me mark that one. Oh, man. He's an elite, too. I gotta split them up. Alright. Here, come back over this way. Dude, hey. Come here. Alright, I'm gonna try this. Don't turn around. Super kill! There we go. Oh! That was close. That was close. Love these knockoff Thin Mints. Barbells and Joystick says, getting ready to watch Winter Soldier with my wife. Thanks for the stream and your ministry, Pater. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Means a lot, man. Enjoy Winter Soldier. One of my favorite Marvel movies. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Oh, no! No, buddy. It's cool. All right, here we go. Here we go. Get him! Whew. Lady, you are brutal. I don't know. You think I can do this? Yep. Here we go. Groovy. Oh, there's a big elite guy over here. Okay. Something really satisfying about clearing out a whole big area. It's just filled with dudes. Especially if they never spot you. That's super satisfying. Alright. I think there's just one more guy I saw walking down there. And then it's all about just going around and cleaning up. Oh, he was throwing one of the bodies in the water. Oh, he's been working at it. He threw 3 guys in the water. He's been cleaning up for me. Oh, man. These games. Just the environments and... Oh, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. I want to hear the lapping waves a little bit. It's quite pleasant. I got for my birthday... Holly was like, she likes to get a she likes to get a wish list from me, and I'm selfish enough that I like to give her one, so that I don't get something that I'm not gonna really enjoy or have a use for. And you get to, I guess, my stage of life and situation where, like, the money I have to spend on, you know, fun things and my desire for fun things have, you know, met. when I dropped comic books, that really changed a lot for me. I was able to just really start saving and just be more conservative and choosy in my spending. And so, when you've hit that kind of equilibrium of kind of like, being content, with the amount of money that you have to spend on fun things, then you can basically buy all the things that you're really genuinely interested in having. So I was like, it was the puzzle of what do you get for the man who has everything, right? And I thought, boy, there's one thing that I don't quite want to spend money on, but I think I would really enjoy it. And that is one of those old Cool Mist humidifiers, impeller humidifiers. I feel like I've talked about this before. I'm sorry if I have. And it has that nice cool mist and that sound. It's got the motor running, but then also the shh on top of it. And then mist feels nice on your face. My mom used to always use one of those for us when we would get really congested when we were sick as kids. And so I associate all those sense memories with just peace and recovery and relaxation. And so I was like, I'd really like one of those impeller humidifiers. And so she got me the one I wanted, and I've just been enjoying it so much. Sometimes at the end of the night, I'll be like, I don't really even want to play video games right now. I just want to sit in silence in my office, turn this humidifier on, and just sit and listen and have peace and quiet. That's when you know you're getting old, right? It's when that's your idea of a good time. Oh, boy. I don't want Phobos. Here's what I want. Nope, wrong thing. I want this, and we burn it. One more. Listen to those footfalls. Don't you love it? Alright, one more. There it is. Oh, and a chest, too, that I haven't gotten. Wow, I cleared out this whole area, and I didn't even take care of that bonfire. Usually that's like the first thing I do, is I'm like, I gotta get rid of that bonfire, because that's the signal to bring more troops. Ooh. Oof, man. I can get into a groove with this game. This is like a great podcasting game, or a podcast game, you know? Put on a good podcast that you like. Just go around checking off those Ubisoft boxes. Oh, yeah. What is it, girl? Keep going. No? Alright. There we go. Okay, so... Oh, one more. Oh, okay. I got the chest, but I forgot to get the thing. Well, where is it? Is it up? Oh, there it is. It's up there. So how do I get... Oh, there's the ladder. All right. Beautiful. Oof, man. I'm in a nice groove with this game. What else is nearby? Oh, who's this guy? Undiscovered leader. Let's go see what level he is. They can be fun to take down. I almost never ride a horse in this game. Because there's usually stuff I want to do, things I want to hunt and collect on foot on the way to wherever I'm going. Timolos the Frantic. Oh, he's level 25. And he's surrounded by big dudes. Are they coming for me? No. What's up? Oh! Oh, this was a bad idea. I thought they were distracted, but they are not distracted enough. Come on, girl. You almost got him. Almost got him. Yeah, get out of there. Oh, dude, but I've got bounty hunters after me now. I probably won't. Oh, girl. Let's get our horsey. Horsey! Please hurry, horsey, I'm almost dead. Yeah! Ride, horsey, ride. Yeah! Okay, that felt pretty cool. That was thrilling! Okay, now I did actually kill that guy, right? It didn't say that I had to confirm the kill, so... I'm thinking I legit killed him. Nice. Okay, well, what do we got here? We got some quests. I don't really want to do a quest. Just like to clear places. There's a guy on the IGN Game Scoop who says that he just wished that Ubisoft would make games called, like, Outpost the Game, you know? Because that's just, he could just do that all day long. And I feel the same way, whether it's Assassin's Creed, or Ghost Recon Wildlands, or Far Cry. Just let me roam the land and take on those outposts. That's a good time to me. All right. Well, what do we got here? Is that find ancient steel? Oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't like going to those places. It's just kind of like an environmental puzzle. You're walking around. I want to sneak up on guys and kill them. What about... Oops. Wrong control. This guy. I should try to go after this guy. Because, see, I can pay my bounty. It's $13.43, but I only have $54.91 in coin right now. So that's a significant amount. If I can take out this dude. Let's do it! And let's roll on the +2 page of many topics. Gosh, I might get through the +2 page tonight after all. Another one from Francisco Ruiz of the Retro Rewind podcast, also a Spirit Blade insider at patreon.com/SpiritBlade Productions, and he asks a very simple question. Steven Spielberg or Christopher Nolan? Huh. That's, I think more recently, I would say Christopher Nolan compared to the more recent Steven Spielberg. So if you, like, take movies that each filmmaker has made in the last 20 years, and I think Christopher Nolan has only been making movies in the last 20 years, then I think Christopher Nolan is more my style. But at the same time, there can be a little bit of a sameness to some of Nolan's movies. Like, sometimes I wish he would cut loose visually. You know, like Inception, conceptually, that's a wild movie. But there was still a sort of groundedness to it in how they portrayed the dream worlds. But it was unique in that way. I don't want to say that he shouldn't have made it the way he did, because it's unique and cool because of the pseudo-groundedness of that movie. And I think, you know what it is? I think I honestly just have a little bit of resentment still over some choices that he made in The Dark Knight Returns. Or not The Dark Knight Returns, but The Dark Knight. Come on in. Are you here to say goodnight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. I smell. Hey!
Hey!
Don't eat it all. Save some for me.
I love you.
Love you too.
Ooh. Sleep good. All right, crazy boy. The camera's right there if you want to make your silly face. All right. Why don't you say hi, too, to the nice people that came to watch?
Hi.
All right. Sleep good. Love you.
Wait, hold on.
What?
I want to do something on the camera.
No, you're making me nervous. Don't bump the microphone.
Okay. Mwah.
All right. Yes, okay.
Save some for me.
We'll see. Good night. I bought that with my fun money.
Yeah.
You can buy stuff like that with your fun money, too. We'll see. We'll see.
Can I have one right now?
No, definitely not right now. Go.
Come on. Love you.
Love you, too.
Smells good in there.
Okay. Oh yeah, Spielberg or Nolan. Yeah, so in The Dark Knight, he really grounded that movie a lot. I wanted those movies to... I liked how much he went for realism, but I think he took it a little bit too far in some ways. Like, I wanted Joker to not paint his face. I wanted his face to be, his skin to be stained white by a vat of chemicals, but didn't go that route. I still enjoyed Ledger's performance. It was certainly one totally viable version of the Joker. That character's been... Oh, crap. Oh, no! Oh, crap! I need my horsey! Horsey, where are you? Horsey, come on, we gotta go! Come on, that's right, let's go! He's not still following me, is he? Oh my gosh, those mercenaries are like way tougher than I want to deal with. So, I would take definitely recent Nolan movies over recent Spielberg movies, but I think that Spielberg, the movies he's contributed to the world, I would much rather have than the movies Nolan has contributed to the world. Not just for the movies themselves, but for the influence they had on others. But I would say even for the movies themselves. Oof, but I have to give up the Dark Knight trilogy. That would be tough, as much as I did have some little problems with those movies. Yeah, it would be with deep regret that I would choose... If this game is intended to be like, one of them has to be wiped from the history books, if that's the game we're playing, you know, then with a heavy, heavy heart, I would say I'll take Spielberg over Nolan. Ugh. Hey, it's raining! That's so nice! Rugged Warrior says, any games you want to have a sequel get announced? Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. I want, and maybe, you know, by the time this airs later, this will all be dated after E3, but I want to see Two Worlds 3. I really liked Two Worlds, the original Two Worlds, as like kind of janky and rough as that game was, especially on the Xbox 360. I loved my experience with that game, even with the frustrations, the crashes, and all that stuff. Really enjoyed my experience with that. Two Worlds 2, enjoyed that. I played through that once and really enjoyed it. I haven't been able to bring myself to do a complete second playthrough like I did with the original Two Worlds. But I'm hopeful that a Two Worlds 3, which has been in development, it's just still in pre-production. I would like to for it to have some kind of presence at E3, some kind of mention. It's not going to be on anybody's main stage, but it would be cool to have some kind of a teaser trailer announced, just to kind of confirm, yeah, we are totally working on this. And then, what's that company? THQ Nordic has been just kind of mysteriously buying up a whole bunch of properties and making games for some of them. Well, one of them they bought the rights to the IP is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I don't think they have the rights to re-release the original, like as a remaster or something. Let's take care of this guy. But they could make a sequel. And my gosh, I would love a sequel. I would love a sequel. The gameplay in that, so enjoyable. So enjoyable. Yeah, so Kingdoms of Amalur Judgment Day, or whatever the crap, you know. Those would be the two sequels that come to mind. I'm trying to think if there are any other sequels. I don't think we're going to get a Mass Effect announcement. I think that's franchise going sleepy for a while. I'm really curious to see what they're going to announce or show with Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age game. But I really do think that that's a troubled studio, BioWare. Just the recent news that came out about the development of Anthem and the turmoil behind the scenes. It just seems like they are not making the games that BioWare used to be famous for, the kind of role-playing experiences in particular that BioWare used to be famous for. It seems like they're trying to, and this seems to happen with studios that EA buys. They at first are making games maybe the way you're used to that studio making games, but you start to see EA's influence over time with monetary systems that get introduced to the game. You know, DLC and microtransactions and stuff like that. Or, as was the case with BioWare, Dragon Age 2 really moved it in this action-y type direction, as opposed to the real-time with pause type of gameplay that Dragon Age Origins was, which they got back to, for the most part, in Dragon Age Inquisition. But Dragon Age 2 was much more action-y, and that was a move, undoubtedly, to try and broaden the appeal, broaden the audience for that, you know. And that's, of course, what EA would want to do. I would guess that that was encouraged, if not mandated, from above, you know, for them to broaden the appeal of their game. So I don't have much hope. And like the founders of BioWare have left and retired, and other really significant creative types that were involved in the making of the BioWare games that people really love them for have left. So BioWare is not the BioWare that it was on so many levels. So I'm not at all optimistic for the next Dragon Age game. I may not even buy it. I don't know. I'll probably review it. I'll probably rent it and give it a try. But trying to think if there are any other sequels. Oh, well, it's been announced, but like the expansion for Wolfenstein, I really enjoyed those Wolfenstein games. I would love for a third one to be announced. Of course, I think it should go without saying that I want, well, they've already been announced, but I want to see progress and release windows announced for Bethesda's Starfield space RPG and Elder Scrolls 6, which they won't. But maybe we'll at least get like some kind of tease or something. Well, no, they said that Starfield is not going to be at their conference this year, which I'm just like, ugh, what do you have then for me, Bethesda? I mean, that's me being selfish. I'm sure they're going to show some games other people will be really excited about, but all right. Let's do one more location, I think, and then I will switch to Far Cry New Dawn. This is not a tune I know. It's just one I made up for show. Yeah, that seems like a good spot. Let's fast travel to here to help get the ball rolling a little bit. All right, moving along here. This one, okay, this one's been on here forever. It's a question I put on here. And that is my favorite board games. My gosh, I could talk about this for a while. But, well, Hero Quest. It all starts with Hero Quest for me. The first kind of dungeon crawling game, non-competitive because you have the dungeon master type character, the game master character. And I'd never played Dungeons and Dragons. I've talked about Hero Quest enough before in my content that I'm not going to go much into it right now, but I am playing that now with my youngest son, who is 8, and he loves being the game master, you know, the Zargon. And that's so cool for me, because I never got to be Zargon, and I didn't particularly want to be when I was younger, but I really enjoy being... I never got to be the heroes when I was younger, and I didn't particularly want to be. I enjoyed being Zargon, but I am Zargoned out after so many years of playing that game with my friend ad nauseum, that now to control a squadron of 4 heroes is like... It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So we've been playing that on the weekends. In fact, we've got a game set up on a movable table that's tucked under the stairs that basically we'll be pulling out on the weekends. And more frequently, maybe even than that, during the summer this year. I anticipate we'll be doing a lot of hero questing this summer, so I'm really looking forward to that. Lots of fun there. And then following that, Descent, which is basically in the mold of Hero Quest. You got an overlord, a guy that's controlling all the monsters, and you got up to 4 players controlling a group of heroes, but it can be as little as 1 player controlling all 4 heroes. And yeah, really loved that. That had more meat to it than Hero Quest. And gosh, it does get a little bulky and cumbersome in terms of setup and when you're opening up new rooms and setting everything up, if you're not really into the novelty of the type of game it is, then those elements can really be cumbersome. Like these days, it would be hard to go back to Descent because there are so many dungeon crawl options, and so the cumbersome elements of that game really stand out like they didn't before. And plus, I played it for years and years and years with the same friend I played Hero Quest with. We just kind of graduated to Descent. But it's still in my collection. It's still one that I plan to hang on to for my boys when they're ready for Descent instead of Hero Quest, Let's see here. Doom. Doom would be the one that I got before Descent. Descent is based on the rules set of the Doom board game, and that's not the more recent Doom board game. This is one that released in like the early 2000s, I want to say, or maybe even the late 90s. It was based on the Doom 3 video game. Even had like digital art from that game, And that one has, like a character controlling all the monsters, and then up to 3, I think, players can play Space Marines or whatever, going through and blowing away monsters and respawning when they die and collecting weapons and ammo and stuff. I mean, it's a great game, So I still have that. That's long out of print. Really hard to get a copy of that. Both that and Hero Quest, really pricey, especially if you're trying to get a complete copy in good condition. So I'm really happy to have that in my collection because it's still one that I've pulled out over the years with friends. and I imagine I'll play with my boys at some point too. But Galaxy Defenders would probably be the version of that type of game that I would gravitate more toward now, because for the same reasons that Descent is kind of clunky, Doom is kind of clunky, but Galaxy Defenders, first of all, doesn't require a game master, and second, is just a little more streamlined, you know? Yeah. That's, yeah, a lot of fun. And it's got a nice campaign system like those other games do, which I really appreciate. So I've not gotten very far into that, because there's always another game that I'd kind of like to play a little bit more. And the game usually that I wanted to play more with my friend that we've been playing a lot of is Pathfinder, the adventure card game. That is kind of like Thunderstone or Dominion, if you've played those games a little bit, in that it's a deck builder. You start with a very basic deck for your character, and then as you play the game, you explore locations that are represented by decks of cards, and you draw cards, and there's something you have to do to interact with that card to defeat it and then gain benefits from it, that you add that card to your deck. And in Pathfinder, though, unlike those other games, you get to roll dice too, which I really like. I like that element. I like that tactile element, and I like the element of chance. So you can roll those dice and see the results and be like, yeah! You know, there's that moment of uncertainty and excitement, you know, but you can still hedge your bets with how you build your deck. So I've really been enjoying that. He and I, my friend that I've been playing Pathfinder with, have over the years been going through the main campaign, which I've had to buy multiple expansions to flesh it all out. And we're about to finish that up. Probably the next time I go out and visit him in just a couple weeks, we'll be finishing that up. But I bought another whole base set of Pathfinder that I've just started playing by myself here in my office. I thought about recording it and making content but I just, I was like, I don't want to do that unless I, really feel motivated to, because it takes a lot of time and effort. I just want to kind of enjoy myself, and play the game for me, So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And there's a core set for that, a new core set coming out that's tweaked the rules, modifying them so that it's much more replayable. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably going to purchase that. I might do a review of that in the next month or so when it comes out. So, yeah, really been enjoying Pathfinder, the adventure card game, and looking forward to the future of that. Mage Knight, not the old game, the old tactical whatever it is game, but the more recent board game. That is beefy, and I think I've got. Maybe I don't have a video up about that. I know I've talked about it on the podcast before. So if you go to spiritblade.com and search Mage Knight, one word, in the search field, that podcast episode where I talk about it should show up. I really enjoy that, but that's a meaty, beefy game, and so I've really got to be in the mood to focus, which unfortunately at the end of a night, I'm not always up for that. Anybody else seeing me? Oh, this dude sees me. Oh, crap! I tried! Oh, dang! Oh, man! There we go. Dang, lady. You are brutal. Sorry, got a little sidetracked there. Let's see here. Well, hi, Ridge Napier. Welcome. I'm going to get to your question in just a second. Let me finish this topic. I'm almost done with it. So, Mage Knight, love that game. Love the richness and depth of that game. I'm just not always in the mood for it. So sometimes I can set it up and it'll end up staying on a table in my office for a long time without me finishing the game. I do think it's a little bit more enjoyable when you have a friend that you're playing co-op with, just so you can explain to each other the brilliance of your of your moves. It's kind of satisfying to puzzle through and figure out how can I make the best use of the cards in my hand, and then like have your friend check you on your math, your logic, your thinking, and realize, okay, this will work. That can be kind of a cool experience. Okay, just had to stop and restart my recording for editing purposes later on. And just 2 more games on my list. Sword and Sorcery. Actually, I would take that one off this list. As I've come back to that lately, it's a little more cumbersome than I'd like it to be. But One Deck Dungeon is the last game on this list, and that is really nice in a pinch. That is like my ultimate travel game. When I want to have a dungeon crawl on the go, it's a little bit of a puzzle type game, so it's not always going to be, it's not going to perfectly scratch the itch as far as matching mechanics to theme as other dungeon crawlers, but it is I take it every time we go out to visit my wife's family, because I know there's going to be like some downtime and stuff, and some time when I might want to just kind of be alone for a little while, and I'll take that and put it out on the floor in our guest bedroom that we're staying in, and just crawl a dungeon by myself, so compact, and there's a lot that can be represented in that little game in terms of equipment and character development. I mean, it's really, really a clever design. So yeah, those would be my favorite board games. Hey, Peter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. For my 6th consecutive year, I'm participating in Extra Life, a charity event that raises funds to provide medical care for children in urgent need. I'm also leading the Christian Geek Central Extra Life team, which you're still welcome to join by following the link in the description below. Once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will stream live on youtube.com/ChristianGeekCentral and ChristianGeekCentral.com beginning 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 2nd. You can donate on my page or on any team member's page by following the links below, where you will also find incentives and rewards for doing so. For example, on my page, for $5 or more, you can choose a topic to add to my +3 page of many topics that I'll be blabbing my opinions on during the live stream. For $10 or more, you get the previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Special Edition audio drama. For $20 or more, you get the previous rewards, and you can choose a game for me to play during my November 2nd live stream. Pick a favorite or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. For $30 or more, you get the previous rewards, and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 2nd live stream. Pick an old favorite of yours, or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something no one wants to hear. And for $50 or more, you get all the previous rewards and a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's an $80 value. On top of that, I've set fundraising milestones that will unlock strange and unusual happenings as I reach them. At $200, I'll have a free download day for everyone who visits spiritblade.com on November 6th. And as my total goes beyond $200, I'll unlock increasingly more content for that free download day. I will also let my boys tickle me for 1 minute straight during my November 2nd live stream. And depending on how far beyond $200 my fundraising goes, I will cover my face in peanut butter and jelly while talking about horror movies, put on a Frozen Solid t-shirt the morning of my live stream while playing video of me singing soothing classical music at my senior recital in college, shoot water up my nose with a turkey baster, get my wife Holly to play a game with me for 30 minutes of the live stream, or the granddaddy of all milestones, squirm intensely, mortified while showing an embarrassing video clip from the original stage version of Spirit Blade. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all the details. I hope you'll be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central team do some good for some kids who really need it. And then, please join me at youtube.com/ChristianGeekCentral for my 24-hour marathon starting at 6 a.m. Pacific on Saturday, November 2nd. Hope to see you there.